An Alabama mall is closed this morning after a fatal officer-involved shooting. And if your holiday to-do list includes flood repairs, there is still time to get some financial help from the federal government.
This is News 3 This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to News 3 This Morning. It is Friday, November 23rd. Leah has the day off, as does Josh. So it's me and Chris, and Hattie had worked yesterday. That's why she's not here this morning. So we're riding solo, bud. Just you and me.
That's all right. That's all right. Sometimes it just takes two to tango the show.
You got that right.
That's what we're going to do. Of course, we're watching the forecast very closely as we go through the weekend. But first, let's start with what's out there now. It is a warmer morning than we have seen in a long time. I don't know the last time I was able to say it was 33 degrees at 6 o'clock, and I'm not talking
It definitely
6 p.m.
felt warmer out there, a little like thick, almost humid.
Exactly. And there, in fact, there was a lot of fog driving in, coming in from the western part of Dane County this morning. But we don't have any rain out there right now, and we will see some rain later on as we go through the day. But as we zoom things out, we are just now starting to see the true beginning of some showers over parts of eastern Kansas, and that will lead to heavier rain later on this evening and tonight. But going through the morning, we'll rise up to about 41 degrees by lunchtime, and then we'll see those highs right around 45 degrees as we get you into the afternoon. Do know, though, that it will be cloudy at that time. Those shower chances will be increasing probably around 3:30 and so on and so forth as we go through the day. Now, of course, we're watching the possibility of a winter storm in the area coming Sunday. For now, those winter storm watches are mainly to our south. Last night, a lot of the model runs took it far to the south. In fact, they completely missed Wisconsin with the snow altogether, which I'm sure a lot of folks would like to see. But I will say, so far, this morning's model runs have brought it all back to the north. So since we don't have any forecaster confidence, we're just gonna eat the waffles that the models are serving and see what we can figure out from that as we go through the next couple days.
Well, we certainly want to bring you all the most accurate information. I know it's tough when it's only a couple days away to understand that just these slight changes
Winter
in the
storms
atmosphere
are major, but they're very, very fragile. You change one tiny little thing, and it's the difference between no snow and a foot of snow.
All right. Well, thank you for keeping us posted.
Anytime.
All right. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Chris. 6:02 right now, and new overnight, a teenager is dead after an officer-involved shooting at an Alabama mall that was open early for Black Friday shopping. Police in a suburb of Birmingham say the incident started with a fight between two teens around 9:30 last night. One teenager shot the other before trying to run away. Two officers confronted that young man and fatally shot him. He died at the scene. The other teenager involved in that fight is in serious condition this morning. A 12-year-old girl was also taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound. Her condition has not been released. The mall has remained closed until further notice while police investigate. Out in California this morning, the deadliest wildfire in state history is almost fully contained, but not before killing another person in its path. Authorities say 84 people have now died as a result of those fires that started back on November 8th. More than 560 people are still missing, but rescue crews believe many of them could actually be safe and alive, that they're just unreachable and don't know they've been reported missing. Rain yesterday did help firefighters nearly contain the so-called Camp Fire in Northern California. Still, though, authorities expect some people to be in shelters through the holiday season after that fire destroyed more than 13,000 homes. Speaking of natural disasters, there's a reminder that anyone impacted by this summer's historic flooding can register for relief through FEMA until December 17th. That agency has already come through and assessed overall damage, but that process was just to qualify certain counties for assistance. So now individual homeowners and businesses still need to register to be considered for help. You can do that online at disasterassistance.org or over the phone at the number on your screen there. People who live and work in Juneau County can still go to a disaster recovery center that FEMA set up. That's in Mauston today and tomorrow. Federal representatives, as well as folks from the U.S. Small Business Administration and Wisconsin Emergency Management, will be there to answer questions about assistance programs. We do expect an update from Beloit Police today as the Rock County Medical Examiner identifies the man shot and killed there Wednesday night. 49-year-old Jose Reyes died at the hospital after he was shot in the 1700 block of Harrison Avenue. That happened right around 8:15 Wednesday night. Police have arrested a 20-year-old man in that case and say they are not looking for any more suspects at this time. A group of people who oppose a proposed power line are taking their protest to Camp Randall this weekend. The Cardinal Hickory Creek transmission line would go from the town of Middleton to Dubuque, Iowa, spanning about 100 miles and going through 4 different counties. The state's already currently analyzing the possible environmental impact of the high voltage line and is still in the process of collecting public comment. Supervisors in Dane and Iowa counties have already passed resolutions officially opposing that line. Landowners around it say it's unnecessary and damaging and will affect their property values. A group against the power line will be handing out flyers at tomorrow's game against Minnesota to encourage others to chime in on the project. 6:05 right now. An estimated 164 million Americans plan to shop sometime over the course of this weekend. Spending over the next month or so is expected to be nearly 5% more than that same time last year. And Black Friday is still expected to be the busiest shopping day of the year. Christina Laurie is live now inside Westtown Mall with more on how our holiday shopping habits are changing a little bit. Hi there, Christina.
Good morning, Danica. 60% of shoppers say they already started buying their Christmas and holiday presents before Thanksgiving. But shoppers here at Westtown Mall are still coming out in crowds this morning. The mall itself actually opens its doors about 15 minutes before schedule at 5:45 this morning. On average, Black Friday shoppers are expected to spend an average of $472 per shopper in-store and online, among those surveyed by BlackFriday.com. It's a change from past years. $1.2 billion of that is expected to be spent via mobile devices, more than ever before. That's because buyers are increasingly calling Black Friday itself overwhelming. 6 in 10 plan to stay home today, avoiding the shopping rush, according to holiday research by the Harris poll.
Well, yeah, an awful lot of things you can go online and get. There's an awful lot of things that you may not even know you're looking for, but if they've curated a really nice assortment and somehow it fits you, you've got those stores you walk into, you go, man, I like a lot of stuff in this store. That's still an exciting way to shop.
People that do come to stores today are expected to stock up on things like electronics and clothes. Shoppers heading out today are expected to mostly be in their 20s and 30s, but regardless of age, income, and gender, all shoppers this morning have one common characteristic. They're out here to enjoy the experience. We'll check back in with some of them coming up in about 30 minutes. And back to you, Danica.
We hope that they continue to enjoy that experience despite any crowds that they may encounter. Christina Laurie reporting live from Westtown Mall. Thanks, Christina. 6:07 right now, and the executive tree up at the governor's mansion this year will honor the servicemen and women who have served our country and those who will spend this holiday season overseas. You're looking at footage here from the residence a couple years ago. Wisconsin National Guard members helped decorate this year's tree. The ornaments were made by a woman who lost her son in Iraq. They will feature dream catchers, each with a dog tag and a gold star, representing a fallen soldier from the Badger State. When the tree comes down, those ornaments will be sent off to families of someone who died while serving. The tree will be officially lit up Sunday afternoon before an open house that evening. Flags will fly at half-staff through the weekend across Wisconsin as a World War II soldier is finally laid to rest. Private First Class Joseph Natvik was flying a cargo plane when it went down in a remote area of India during the Great War. His remains were just recovered and identified in September, and he'll be buried with full military honors in Columbus on Sunday. All right, I recently came across a gift card myself from last Christmas. Yes, last Christmas. And unfortunately, I'm one of the many who missed the expiration date on it. I'm still hoping they'll make an exception, but it could have been worse judging on what state consumer experts are warning about this season. We'll hear tips coming up. And before that, Chris is talking about a warmer day today, but some precipitation heading in our direction. We'll share why the Sunday drive back from your holiday destination might be a little treacherous when News 3 This Morning continues.
Another chilly morning out there, but still one of the warmest mornings we have had in a very long time around here, with temperatures starting out in the low 30s. We are starting out our day above freezing. That has not been the story for quite some time. We also do have a beautiful sunrise taking shape out there, but the reason for the warmer air is due to wind coming out of the south today, and that's going to be the case going throughout the day and pretty much all day long as well. So a lot of those colder temperatures to the north will get eaten into with some warmer temperatures as we go farther throughout the morning and through today as well. But we're also going to watch the cloud cover on the increase. We're seeing some of that now moving in from the south and west, and that will continue to increase from the south and west as we go through the day. We're also watching a few more in the way of those rain showers starting to develop, and that all will be moving eastward throughout today as well. That'll bring us some rainfall as we go later into the afternoon and evening, especially during those overnight hours tonight. In fact, as we take you hour by hour, here's how things should play out for us. We'll see those temperatures right around 45 degrees for the highs this afternoon. At this point, it will be mainly cloudy as well, but then as we head into the overnight hours, that is when we will see the rainfall really begin to work its way on in. Not sure why that didn't show up earlier for you guys, but we'll see that rainfall during the late evening and early overnight hours and through your Saturday morning. Now, once we get beyond Saturday, all attention does focus on Sunday and what we could see with the possible winter storm across the upper Midwest. I think I'm confident in saying there will be a winter storm across the upper Midwest. The question is where. The European model takes the storm well to our south and east and honestly keeps us snow-free around here. Then we have what is known as the North American model. We call that the NAM. That gives us a better chance at seeing some snow. So here's how that one works on through. It is much farther to the north and east, and when you break down the numbers on that, it brings double-digit snows to parts of southern Wisconsin. So, of course, we're going to be watching that very closely before that moves off as well. But here's my latest thinking on who I think has the best chance to see a significant accumulating snow. Pretty much anyone who's highlighted in the blue there, and that does include parts of southeastern Wisconsin, I think has the greatest chance. I think the European model is just a bit too far south compared to what this storm may actually do. But nonetheless, this will trend differently as we go throughout the day. I'll be posting my thoughts on this on Twitter and Facebook as we go throughout the day, as well as I get farther data. But in the meantime, there are winter storm watches in effect mainly to our south and west throughout parts of north Missouri and southern Iowa as well. And we have an alert day here as we go into Sunday, tracking what we could see with this storm. But we are going to be watching all of the latest with the possible weather going through the next 7 days. Oh, 1 second. Let me correct that there. Here we go again. We're going to be watching all of the latest as we go through the next 7 days, along with the cool down as we go towards next week with temperatures only in the 20s. Now let's go to Jason Stone with your first alert traffic. Jason?
No major incidents on the Beltline as motorists are driving at the posted speed limit. Any delays are happening on the interchanges. Drivers are congested at the intersection of Highway M and Highway K. Otherwise, it's mostly clear on all major routes heading into Madison. And traffic flow is steady throughout downtown and around the Capitol Square. With your first alert traffic, I'm Jason Stone.
All right, Jason, thank you. And Chris, thank you so much. 6:16 right now. And if you are like me, a gift card is not at all a bad thing to find in your stocking, but it can be if Santa gets scammed or forgets to read the fine print. Michelle Reinen joins us again this morning. She is the director of the state's Bureau of Consumer Protection. Thanks again for sticking around with us this morning.
My pleasure.
So gift cards can be, I think, one of the greatest. You get it and you're like, all right, try a new restaurant, go buy that whatever I want instead of having to return something. And there's definitely some catches with all of these, aren't there?
There certainly are, and it depends on how the giver purchased that gift card. So if they just went to a store and purchased it off the turnkey, if you will, they need to make sure that the PIN number hasn't been scratched off and that the card hasn't been manipulated, and make sure that they provide that activation receipt so you as the receiver have the freedom to use it. And gift cards shouldn't expire if they expire for 5 years, but it depends how you got it. If you got it as a promotion or through a charity, kind of auction site or something, then it could expire within a year, and you need to be sure that you relay that information so no one's caught off guard. So use those gift cards as soon as you receive them.
Yeah, and this is another area where scammers like to catch buyers as well. I mean, you know, you can buy gift cards online now pretty easily. What should we be looking out for in that regard?
So you can buy them at swap exchanges, you know, if there's gift cards you receive that you don't like to use type situation. So you need to be sure that they are actually loaded. Don't spend more than you're willing to lose situation there because they may have been drained. But watch for scam artists who entice you with a gift card by filling out a survey. That's a big no-no, if you will, because you're handing over your personal information. And what we've seen from those scams is that you never receive that gift card, but then you'll be targeted for future scams or identity theft as well.
Yeah, we wanted to talk to you too about something that's kind of resurfaced from a few years ago. It's called a Secret Sisters scam, and even police stations here across the state have seen this popping up again. Pyramid scams in themselves, one promising maybe like you buy one present and you get a whole bunch in return, are nothing new, right?
They are nothing new. So pyramid schemes are illegal. Trying to get something, you know, give something of value and receive more in value. Usually it's money that we see, but anything of value in these gifts. So the Secret Sisters is buy a $10 gift and then send it to the people on the list, but you will get up to 36 gifts in exchange. But again, you're using the mail, even though it's through social media that you are being enticed through this. And the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, this is an illegal activity because, again, it's something of value that you're going to receive and have a gain. So don't get involved in this because those pyramids fall apart. There's nothing to support that bottom because the people at the beginning get those 36, but finding more and more people to engage in this, the bottom will fall out on you.
Well, and on top of it here, this is, I don't know, it just seems it's something that keeps resurfacing, and it might be tweaked just a tad, but don't be fooled. I mean, just because it's back again does not mean it's legitimate, right?
Oh, absolutely. So again, this happened and started in 2015, but it is resurfacing, and they always take on that new twist, as you mentioned. But anything that builds up from one person to many that has that pyramid shape to it, the bottom will fall out on you. So don't get engaged in these activities because they are illegal.
Yeah, I think that's the end message right there. Just don't do it. All right, Michelle Ryan, thank you so much for coming in this morning.
Sure, thank you. Yeah. Happy holidays.
You too, yeah, and have a safe one. And thank you for helping us do that. 6:19 right now. Full disclosure, I'm an absolute sucker for a good animated movie, and I am a firm believer that the original Wreck-It Ralph falls into that category. Will Loper is still sleeping off his mountain of mashed potatoes, but he is previewing Ralph leaving his video game world and taking down the entire internet. You've been warned, Cyber Monday shoppers. And we have some mild temperatures for you to enjoy today compared to the highs around freezing earlier this week, but it comes with a price. Chris is talking about rain and snow chances in his first alert forecast when News 3 This Morning returns.
Good morning on this Black Friday. Lots of folks going to be headed out shopping today or just spending time with the family and maybe wanting to get outdoors in general, drive around. Here's what you'll be expecting as you head out the door, though. Right now, temperatures are in the mid-30s. We are seeing a bit more cloud cover work its way on into town as well. And we're going to see more of that cloud cover by lunchtime, along with a little bit more in the way of wind as well. We'll be breezy with temperatures around 40 degrees. Then by the afternoon and evening, here we are at 4 o'clock, we'll see scattered showers developing. Temperatures will be in the low to mid 40s during that time as well. And those scattered shower chances are going to last well beyond 4 o'clock as well into the overnight and evening hours. We do have an alert day for Sunday as we do track the possibility of accumulating snow in the area. The greatest threat for seeing a winter storm will be from southeastern Wisconsin back through parts of the southern upper Midwest. Danica?
All right, thank you so much, Chris. So if you're looking for a gift for a music or photography enthusiast, there's a really interesting show coming to the Overture Center. Tickets for the National Geographic Symphony for Our World go on sale today. The show features really nice National Geographic footage. You can see that on the big screen, and then live music performed by the Madison Symphony Orchestra and Chorus. The 5-part composition pairs artistry with science to bring viewers into the depths of the sea, through the mountains, and into the sky. The show is on March 30th. You can buy tickets, though, over at tickets.overture.org. Speaking of the big screen, we are now on number 8 when it comes to movies in the Rocky franchise. Michael B. Jordan is back as heavyweight champ Adonis Creed, ready to take some revenge for his dad's death. And our favorite animated video game star with really big hands is back. This time he's taken over the internet. Creed 2 is expected to come in second in the box office. Ralph Breaks the Internet expected to do well as well. Here's our film critic Will Loper with a preview.
You gotta think real hard about this. You got people that need you now.
I'm taking the fight.
Michael B. Jordan plays Adonis Creed, who must face off against the son of the man who killed his father.
Don't do this.
I ain't got a choice.
That's the same thing your father said, and he died right here in my hands. That kid was raised in hate. It's dangerous. He broke things in me that ain't never been fixed. It ain't worth it.
Creed 2 is rated PG-13.
Ralph, what is it you're trying to say?
We're going to the internet.
What?
Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope are back, this time traveling to the World Wide Web.
I love it here.
Who knew there's so many babies and cats in the world?
That is what the internet was made for!
Ralph Breaks the Internet is rated PG.
Do people assume all your problems got solved because a big, strong man showed up?
Yes! What is up with that?
She is a princess!
Will is going to be on Live at 4 on Monday to review those movies. I am definitely looking forward to the Wreck-It Ralph. All right, 6:27 right now. A growing number of stores seem to be holding off on Black Friday sales until Friday actually arrives. Christina Lori's live at Westtown Mall with a look at why they're having people wait for any door-busting deals. And a certain made-in-Wisconsin coat could see an uptick in sales this year after the queen of the afternoon talk show crowns it one of her favorite things. Yes, you get a coat. You get a coat. Everybody gets a coat. Next on News 3 This Morning. Shoot at this buck, get a ticket. That's the case for hunters across the country thanks to a Wisconsin company.
And the stores are open, shoppers are here. We're live from Westtown Mall this Black Friday with everything you need to know ahead of the holiday shopping season.
This is News 3 This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to the final half hour of News 3 this morning. It is now 6:31 on this Friday, November 23rd. Very festive looking inside Westtown Mall, and it might look a little more festive outside as the weekend progresses here. Chris Reese outside this morning. And Chris, so far a little warm for this time of year. We are at 33 degrees.
I know. Break out the shorts. It's the warmest morning we've seen in quite a while. Temperatures will make it even into the mid-40s as we go through the day. So that's one of the things that we are going to continue to watch as you do begin to head out for that Black Friday shopping. That's if you haven't already. Right now, we do have temperatures that are in the mid-30s. We'll reach 40 degrees by lunchtime. It'll be breezy and cloudy during that time, and then we'll top out around 43 degrees this afternoon, along with the possibility of some showers. Here's the temperature right now, 33. We are seeing more cloud cover stream on in from the west, but temperature-wise, things are pretty mild out there compared to what we've seen. It feels weird to say that when you see 23 in Black River Falls and other places that are in the mid and upper 30s. But that southerly wind really helps to keep things on a warmer note. And that's what we're going to see as we go throughout the day as well. In fact, we are watching some of that cloud cover stream in from the west. And by the time we go through the afternoon, we'll see more chances for some rain and snow coming into our picture. But most of that snow should stay well to the north of Madison. We'll see those rain chances mainly during the overnight and evening hours tonight, Danica. So, of course, we're going to be watching that forecast closely as we go through the next couple of days. But in the meantime, it is the warmer temperatures and the chances for rain that we'll have out there today.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Thanks for the heads up, Chris. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
6:32 right now. The National Retail Federation predicts as many as 650,000 people could be hired for seasonal positions this year. But a lot of them won't start that work until this morning. Maybe they already have a few hours ago. Christina Laurie's live at Westtown Mall, where doors opened about half an hour ago, 45 minutes ago. You know, hours later, Christina, than they have in the past, right?
That's true, Danica. It wasn't long ago that West and Easttown malls here in Madison would open their doors on Thanksgiving Day, but for the third consecutive year in a row, they held off until this morning. That message didn't translate to all local shops, though. All 5 Dane County Target stores opened on Thanksgiving holiday, and Kohl's and JCPenney were open all night as well as they've done for the past few years. But a growing number of stores say staffing their businesses overnight just isn't worth it anymore, not only because the stores can be dead, but also because shoppers can now get most of those same deals online at any time of the day.
Black Friday has become more of a brand than a day, so that you saw stores 2 weeks ago were advertising Black Friday deals. So some of it's the industry itself is not waiting for Black Friday per se to say, here's our best deals. They want to beat their competitors to the punch, so they're going earlier and earlier.
Data analysts say retailers who continue to pull Thanksgiving to Black Friday all-nighters are trying to hang on to every single sale they can in a really tough retail environment. But another big change from past years, a large percentage of buyers have already finished at least half of their holiday shopping before Thanksgiving and Black Friday even begin. Only 6% of shoppers now wait until the week before Christmas. So if you're one of those procrastinators, you're actually in the minority now.
Yeah, certainly things a little more bustling over at Westtown as the morning has gone on. Christina Laurie reporting live for us today. Thank you so much, Christina. So Black Friday typically means big screens. At least that's what people would be dashing for typically. But drones are expected to be the hot tech item of this holiday season. The Consumer Technology Association expects drone sales to increase by 8% compared to last year. New models out this year can fly more quietly for a longer time and for greater distances. They also have features like 4K Ultra HD cameras. That said, the FAA still has rules and safety tips for any drone pilots out there, old or new. You do have to register online at federaldroneregistration.com before you fly, or you could face up to $250,000 in fines, even some possible prison time. Also, remember to keep your drone well within visual line of sight at or below 400 feet up in the air. and be aware of FAA airspace restrictions. A Dodgeville-based clothing company is hoping a celebrity shout-out will help sell some coats this holiday season. A Land's End down coat made Oprah's favorite things gift list this year. Oprah calls it the coat of the season, saying ladies can sport it without feeling like they've been, quote, swallowed whole. This is the third year Land's End actually made Oprah's favorite things list. A women's flannel shirt and a down-filled top coat have been recognized over the last couple years. Oprah teamed up with Amazon this year, by the way, to make it really easy for people to get their hands on the favorite things. A spokesperson for Land's End told the State Journal that Oprah's influence is legendary and will likely help boost sales. Wisconsin's gun deer season runs through this weekend, and while most hunters out there follow the rules, there are some who don't. And a Wisconsin-based company is using robots to catch those criminals in the act. Custom Robotic Wildlife has been creating robotic taxidermy for about 20 years now in Marathon County, making moving animals for movies, commercials, and businesses. Now, though, the company's main clients are wildlife law enforcement agencies throughout the U.S. and Canada. They put the machines in places where deer hunting is illegal, specifically to catch poachers. Surprisingly, though, they're not often sold in Wisconsin. That's because we do things a little differently here.
States, when they deploy a decoy, will say attempted to take a wild animal or a facsimile of, so they can fine them for the major fines and $3,000 or whatever. In Wisconsin, they don't do that. They don't recognize the decoy as a wild animal, so the guys mostly will get shooting from a roadway or trespassing.
Super interesting there. Law enforcement tells that company's owner that the robots are effective in helping to keep people in the area safe from things like stray bullets that might be fired from the road where they're not supposed to be. A Utah-based company is in Lake Geneva this morning constructing a castle that's suitable for Wisconsin temperatures. This is video here from 2016 when the ice castles went up in Wisconsin Dells. The company actually skipped coming to Wisconsin last year. This time around, though, the castle will be going up in downtown Lake Geneva. Each day, artisans, or apparently ice farmers, the way this is written, will grow and harvest up to 10,000 icicles to build the 30-foot palace. Each of those icicles is then hand-placed and sprayed with water. After an estimated 4,000 hours of construction work, the display will come alive with color-changing LED lights. There's no word yet on when those castles will be ready and open to the public. All right, there is finally some good news to report out of California this morning, where the state's deadliest wildfire ever is almost out. The details are coming up in the morning sprint. And the Packers are still looking for that first win away from Lambeau this season. With only 3 chances left to do that, they are hoping to get it done in Minneapolis. We'll tell you what's next with what's expected to be a tough matchup against the Vikings when News 3 This Morning returns. Welcome back. 6:41 on this Friday morning. We always ask you to share your morning with us, and Paris shared this one on Facebook. Just a gorgeous shot of some of the frost, I assume either on her window in her house or maybe in her car. Regardless, it is a reminder that winter is coming, if not is already here. And a little bit of foreshadowing here as well with the forecast we are expecting over the weekend. So what does your morning look like? Of course, thank you to Paris for posting hers on Facebook. We do need more winter-ish pictures, so please share yours on social media or email them to us with hashtag MyNews3Morning, and we share our favorites every morning here on the program. Packers head coach Mike McCarthy will talk to reporters this morning more than a week after his team's last time on the field. The Packers and Vikings play in prime time in Minnesota Sunday night. The Pack still looking for their first win on the road this season. The last time these rivals met up, they tied at Lambeau back in September. Davante Adams is among the top 5 in the league for receiving touchdowns and receptions, having a great year, but Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs are cleared to play again, both offensive powerhouses for the Vikings. Kickoff between the Packers and Vikings is 7:20 Sunday night. The Badgers will cap off their regular season tomorrow afternoon against the Minnesota Gophers. Wisconsin's brought home Paul Bunyan's axe for the last 14 seasons, but we're talking about a Minnesota team that pulled out a 31-point victory over Purdue a couple weeks ago. The Badgers, you may remember, barely beat the Boilermakers last week, going into triple overtime to win by a field goal. Quarterback Alex Hornibrook still listed as questionable this morning. He's missed 3 out of the last 4 games with a concussion. Wisconsin Senior Day kicks off at 2:30 over on ESPN2. Badgers, please, and I'm talking about the basketball team here, take me to the Bahamas with you next time, please. The cold weather may be coming to an end, but rain and snow is just beginning. Chris is in for Hattie this morning with some wind picking up and precipitation moving on in as we head into the weekend. His forecast is coming up after the break. First, though, it is November 23rd, and we want to say happy birthday to Lincoln and all of the kiddos turning 3. Thank you so much for celebrating with us here on News 3 this morning.
Good morning. A lot of you getting out to do some of that Black Friday shopping today. You're met with temperatures right around 33 degrees and a beautiful sunrise with some of the pinks out there. Now, we are seeing more cloud cover move into the picture, and we're going to see more cloud cover as we go through the day, but we're also going to see temperatures on the milder side. That's thanks to winds that are coming out of the south and southeast right now. Those are sustained at 7 miles per hour in Madison at the moment, 13 miles per hour down in Monroe. So it's a decent breezy south wind that's actually going to be picking up as we go throughout the day. Here are temperatures right now, 33 degrees in Madison, 36 for our friends down in Rock County. Some 20s are showing up to the north. We're at 28 in Wautoma, 22 in Black River Falls, which we know is a typical cold spot right around here. But as we go later on into today, we will see those rain chances increase. Here we are at 10 o'clock. We'll likely see widespread showers across the area. That'll zip on through during the overnight hours, and then early tomorrow morning, we'll see those chances for rain come to an end around here. We'll see those highs today right around 45 degrees as well. Then tomorrow, it'll be a day with cloud cover and temperatures that are likely going to be stuck into the upper 30s with wraparound winds coming through. Now, here's what happens as we go into Sunday. This is the European model that we're watching. It keeps most of the snow to our south. I know if you've been paying attention to the weather, you've heard about the possibility of a winter storm. And so the Euro well to the south there, but here is the North American model. It is much farther to the north as we get you into Sunday afternoon. It has a lot of northerly winds to blow that snow around as well. So we're going to be watching that as it moves on through. But in the meantime, I think anywhere shaded in the blue does have the best chance of seeing significant accumulating snow. We'll continue to watch the data going through the day. This greatest risk zone could shift farther to the north or shift farther towards the south and east. So please stay tuned as we fine tune the details there. But winter storm watches in effect well to our south and west right now, and we're going to watch those get expanded throughout time. We do have an alert date poised up for Sunday as we watch the possibility of some of this accumulating snow going into the area. But that's the biggest snow threat that we have on Sunday. And then we get colds after that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, stuck in the 20s. Then comes a warm front on Thursday and Friday. You know, I never thought I'd say this before, but welcome to the upper Midwest. We have a warm front that will bring chances for snow on Thursday and into Friday. So it's going to be an active and wintry style week, which gets us festive for the season. Here's Tuffy and Lake Delton.
Ready to rock.
Ready to rock and roll, just like Mother Nature is, apparently. So, of course, I know a lot of people really want to know about Sunday. That's a big travel day. And I'm going to be spending all of my energy getting gray hair and trying to figure that out as we go through the next couple of days.
Yeah, we've been talking all morning how just a slight change in the system.
I mean, you have some models that give us verbatim, you know, 40-mile-an-hour winds and 14 inches of snow. You have some models that give us a nice, beautiful, sunshiny day. So we're all over the place, but we'll get it figured out.
We most definitely will. Thank you, Chris.
Anytime.
Morning Sprint's coming up next here on News 3 This Morning. 6:53, time now for the morning sprint. Chris says depending on when you head out, you could run into some breezy conditions and showers out there. First, though, we're going to go live to Christina Laurie, who has gotten an early start at the Westtown Mall with more on shopping trends for this season.
Danica, what used to be the busiest shopping day of the year has dipped a bit in sales. We're talking about Black Friday, and we're at Westtown Mall this morning. This year, more consumers are planning to skip today's holiday altogether. According to a new Harris poll, 60% of shoppers plan to skip Black Friday. Instead of the traditional rush at brick and mortar stores on the day after Thanksgiving, most customers will instead take advantage of Cyber Monday deals. This shopping shift doesn't mean businesses are missing out on cashing in, though. Shoppers are still expected to spend $1 trillion this holiday season.
Christina, thank you. An Alabama mall is closed this morning after a fatal officer-involved shooting last night. Police outside Birmingham say it started with a fight between two men around 9:30 last night. We're learning a 21-year-old man shot at an 18-year-old and then tried to run away. Two officers confronted that man and shot him. He died at the scene. The person he shot, the 18-year-old, is in serious condition this morning, and a 12-year-old girl was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound. Her condition has not been released. We do expect an update from Beloit Police later today as the Rock County Medical Examiner identifies the man killed in a shooting in that city Wednesday night. 49-year-old Jose Reyes died at the hospital after he was shot in the 1700 block of Harrison Avenue. Police have arrested a 20-year-old man in connection with this and say they are not looking for any more suspects. Rain is in the forecast through the weekend in Northern California. The so-called Camp Fire is now 95% contained. At least 84 people have died as a result of those fires. There are still more than 560 people missing, but rescue crews believe many of them are still alive and just can't be reached.
And we are tracking a beautiful morning out there. Clouds, though, moving into the picture. We do have temperatures that are in the 30s. We'll keep them through the 30s early on this morning. We'll top out around 45. Rain chances will be increasing as we head into the afternoon and evening.
All right, thank you, Chris. Former FBI Director James Comey says he's happy to testify for the House Judiciary Committee, but only if it's in a public session. Those lawmakers subpoenaed Comey and former Attorney General Loretta Lynch in reference to the 2016 investigations into ties between the Trump campaign and Russia, as well as Hillary Clinton's private email server. CBS This Morning is going to have more on Comey's reaction to that subpoena coming up after 7. President Trump is expected to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping a week from today, and economists say it's likely nothing more than a photo op, but the hope is it will broker some sort of solution to the ongoing trade war between the two countries. Meanwhile, some items on your holiday shopping list might be a bit more expensive because of the tariffs imposed against China over the fall. Handbags, perfumes, wallets, hats, and fur coats are some of the thousands of items from China that are subject to a 10% tariff. Some sporting goods will also be taxed at a higher rate. Those include ski mittens, bikes, baseball gloves, and golf bags.
NASA's newest mission to Mars is about to begin if their spacecraft survives the landing. I'm Chris Martinez with how engineers are preparing for a delicate arrival.
Sun Prairie will be officially lit up for the holidays starting tonight. That's when the city is holding its annual fire truck parade and tree lighting ceremony at the Sun Prairie Historic Library and Museum. That's just blocks away from where Fire Captain Corey Barr was killed in a massive explosion over the summer. His colleagues will continue the tradition starting at 5 o'clock tonight. All right, your time right now, 6:57. Let's turn it over to Jason Stone with one more look at traffic. Hi, Jason.
Hello. Motorists are moving without delay on the Beltline in both directions. We are seeing the majority of volume on the interchanges. Drivers on John Nolan are moving well after leaving the congestion found at the Rimrock intersection. With your first alert traffic, I'm Jason Stone.
Thank you, Jason. Have a good weekend.
I will.
And of course, we are keeping track on the possible weather as we go through the weekend. We'll see some rain tonight, but then the possibility of a winter storm over the night on Sunday into Monday. The models still differ on what to expect there, but of course, we're going to keep an update.
Absolutely. So safe travels, everyone, over the weekend, and specifically today if you're heading out shopping.